Guests from the business community, from the media, Friends of Ethiopia, and from different international organizations. It's really a great pleasure for me and for my staff to get you all here today to be with us to celebrate Africa Day. As we delve into all this, as the saying goes, the easiest way to win the minds and the heart is through the stomach. No conversation could be complete without food. So, as Ethiopia is one of the ancient civilized country in the world, and being one of the longest independent African country, Ethiopia really played a very important role in the liberation of black people. Ethiopia has a lot to offer to the world, and Ethiopia has a lot of features. For instance, Ethiopia is considered as a land of origin. Why? Because Ethiopia is a birthplace of so many things. It is a birthplace of coffee. It is a birthplace of the longest human Homo sapiens, which really makes all of us to be descendant from the East Africa, especially from Ethiopia. And Ethiopia is also known by being multi-ethnic, multilinguist. There are more than 80 languages that are spoken in Ethiopia, and there are more than 80 tribes and ethnic groups that are living harmony in the country. If we come to the culture, it is a country with diverse culture. It is a country with a lot of tangible and intangible heritage, where even UNESCO registered more than 10 tangible and intangible heritage. So it is a land of opportunity. It is a land of origins, which we can find a lot of untapped resources and also many kind of features that gives to the world. So today, when we are celebrating the last day of the Africa Week or the Africa Month, we want to celebrate this day by just talking about Ethiopian food. So we believe that talking about food, especially about Ethiopian food, will help to know our audiences here, all our friends here, just to know something about what Ethiopian foods really looks like, how it is related to the culture, how it is related to status, how it is related to the life of Ethiopian people.
Can you explain that how the thing that is Ethiopian food is unique and different from the food with the
I would say what makes it really similar to Indian cuisine would be the spices, the complexity of the spice. We have a spice similar to garam masala, which is the kallasha we use at the end, or dorowat, for instance.
Then what really makes unique any country, let's say India, as we are here, unique. What really makes a certain cuisine unique?
I think unique. It's a question of perspective. You get used to a certain taste. You adore a certain taste because you hold value to something that reminds you inside. Your mom's cuisine will always be the best because it reminds you of your child. But I think any cuisine around the world is shaped because of different factors. For instance, spices is an influence that came from Harar. So India had a lot to say in that. The Middle East had a lot to say in that, and how this know-how came to Ethiopia. And Ethiopia has a lot to say to the continent and to the rest of the world as well. I think the landscape is another key component. For instance, there are meals in Afar, which is one of the hottest regions in the world. So they use a lot of sweet, a lot of butter to preserve these kind of meals, or to cook underground as well. Another one would be history. So I would say politics, for instance. We consume a lot of raw meat in Ethiopia, which is a luxury, it's a fine dining food in Ethiopia would be raw meat cut in front of you. But how this history came to be is, back in our history, there was a lot of battles within the ground. So to hide from one another and to avoid making any smoke, any fire, any smell, they used to consume meat raw, which ended up becoming an Ethiopian delicacy. So any component, human component, has a way to be reflected in the food. I think so, yeah.
Foods, let's say when we're eating chicken curry, would that make it Ethiopian?
When I was in California, I used to work at celebrity Michael Mina restaurant at the St. Regis, and he used to use buttermilk, but that didn't make it an Ethiopian food. But it enlarges the palate range, which is great. It gives choice. When you find dining meals, you always find 6-7 different components, but each has their own character. So the mix actually becomes doing something new. And in that sense, having choices within the palate is great. But to say what makes Ethiopian food is the mix between the spices, the injera, it's this whole ceremonial component, the coffee, the ketema that we eat on the ground, the way we invite people to eat. I think there's a lot of components to add it to say this is Ethiopian, this is Indian.
Today you have seen the Ethiopian cuisine, and it was the last day of Africa Day that we are celebrating the Ethiopian cuisine and culture. And the Ethiopian cuisine, it was demonstrated by the very, very famous international chef from Ethiopia. I'll take you to the town again, once again, to the cuisine and how it looks. Come on.
Some of this to balance it out. This is what? This is called, it's an Ethiopian cheese.
Goat cheese?
We did it out of yogurt, so it would be cow cheese, I believe.